The woman suddenly discovered that the pork seal she had pressed onto her daughter's wrist had disappeared. She clearly remembered that when her daughter was first born, to prevent the possibility of their baby being switched like in TV dramas, she had specifically instructed the nurse to press a pork seal onto her daughter's wrist, but now the pork seal was gone. She suspected the baby was not her biological daughter. Her husband, the CEO, was frantic upon hearing this. He ordered his bodyguards to lock down the hospital and find their daughter. Little did they know the fake nurse had already taken the baby to the morgue. She planned to kill the baby. It turned out the baby's previous life had been that of a girl who suffered greatly. She died of a heart condition caused by overwork. She had endured a lifetime of hardship and, for a $3,000 salary, had suffered endless indignities. She vowed that in her next life she would be born into a wealthy family. No sooner had she made the wish than she was reborn in the CEO's wife's womb. Just as she was happy to have rich parents, she suddenly heard her father say her due date was the same day as the nannies. Because soap operas often have baby switching plots, she was terrified her coming life of luxury would be stolen. She kicked her mother's belly non-stop. The CEO and his wife thought the baby was just being playful and paid no attention. They did not realize she was crying for help. They had no idea the nanny intended to harm their child. Then the CEO told his wife he had bought the hospital to ensure not even a fly could get in during the delivery. Hearing that, the baby relaxed and played wildly in her mother's womb. Because she was so mischievous, her mother encountered complications during labor. The doctor said the umbilical cord was wrapped 3 times around the fetus's neck. If they did not transfer immediately, both mother and child would be in danger. When the baby heard they were being transferred to the hospital where the nanny would give birth, she feared the nanny might harm her. Sure enough, the nanny deliberately collided with a nurse. This made her deliver on the same day as the CEO's wife. At that moment the baby regretted having kicked in her mother's womb, but it was too late. The newborn was fair-skinned and especially adorable. The CEO and his wife adored her. The baby pleaded with her parents to memorize her face quickly so the bad people couldn't switch her. No sooner had she said this than a nurse came to take the baby for a bath. The CEO was uneasy. The nurse assured him they were professionals and there would be no mistakes. Only after repeated reminders did the CEO hand his daughter to the nurse. The baby suddenly had a bad feeling. As soon as the nurse stepped out, she met a co-worker. The co-worker asked her to check on a patient in another delivery room who was hemorrhaging. Without suspicion, she handed the baby to her co-worker. Unbeknownst to her, that co-worker was actually the nanny in disguise, determined to give her own child a better future. The nanny, despite being weak from just giving birth, changed into a nurse's uniform to steal the CEO's wife's baby. The baby was frantic. She pretended to faint to make the nanny relax her guard. When the nanny saw her faint, she immediately loosened her hold. The baby then cried loudly, attracting the attention of the CEO and his wife. The CEO immediately ordered the nanny to bring the child over. Fearing to disobey, the nanny handed the baby to the CEO. What they did not know was that their baby had already been swapped by the nanny. The nanny believed her own child would become the CEO's daughter, but the CEO's wife saw at once that something was wrong with the baby. Their daughter's face was clearly not this large. She immediately had her husband lift the baby's wrist to check. Sure enough, there was no pork seal stamped on the wrist. She told the CEO this was not their daughter. The CEO learned that their real daughter's inner left wrist had the pork seal, and when he saw this child had no mark, he panicked. He then